Good morning, Commissioner Swanson.
Good morning, Janelle.
Lovely day outside today.
Much nicer than yesterday.
Yes, yes. Good morning, Commissioner Wilson.
I am here. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioner Foster.
Good morning, Janelle.
Thank you.
Morning, Janelle. Ezra here.
Thank you, Ezra. Good morning. Good morning, Commissioner Bookland.
Good morning, Janelle. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Good.
Morning, Janelle.
Good morning, Commissioner Havel. Thank you. Good morning, Commissioner Eskridge.
Good morning, Janelle.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'll call the meeting to order at 8 o'clock on this Thursday, the 12th day of August. Let's see. Welcome to all of our guests. Janelle, do you wish to go through the virtual meeting guidance?
Certainly. Good morning, commissioners, members of the public, and staff. To help us have a smooth meeting, I'm going to review just a few decorum rules for all. Number 1, please ensure your mic is muted unless you are speaking. Number 2, please state your name before speaking. Number 3, in general, please have your cameras on if possible if you are speaking. You may turn your cameras off if you're experiencing technological challenges. Number 4, as a reminder, the public chat has been disabled, but you can still send messages to the host if need be, and the meeting is being streamed live on YouTube. Those are the decorum rules for today, and let's have a great meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Janelle. Michael, do we have any announcements?
President Hubble, no announcements today.
Thank you, Michael. That'll move us to item 2, appearances by the public. Does any member of the public wish to speak? Let's see, any public members present? And no hands. Okay, so we'll move on to the consent calendar where we have the meeting minutes from the last meeting, the 29th of July, the approval of the cash statement for capital projects fund, sewer extension plan approval. I think there's 2 of them. And then the 2 more items, the approval of increased transaction amount for final clarifier 4, 5, and 6 effluent launder replacement project. And then E is acceptance of the draft 2022 capital improvements plan. Tom, your hand's up.
Yes, it is. So on E, I guess I'd ask that we pull that. And the reason why, well, I guess that's not an ask, that might be a motion, I suppose. The reason why is because I had a revision to that, the second paragraph. When I read it, it seemed it's accurate as to what we did, but I just, I had to wordsmith it, of course. And so what I suggested to Michael was breaking it up into I think 3 sub paragraphs, and he might even have the proposed language that he could show us all. It really just took that and split it up so it was a little easier to read, I thought. I don't know if everybody would agree with me, but that was my feeling. So I would move that we pull that, and then I eventually would want to make a second motion to approve the item with the revision that hopefully Michael will show us.
Okay,
We'll show the language.
So we have a request to remove item E from the consent calendar. I don't know that we need a motion to do that. I think we've done that before by just at the request of a commission member. Ezra, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. I was going to ask if I could abstain from voting on the minutes just for having missed that last meeting.
Okay.
But
Okay,
I'm happy to
so
vote on the rest of the consent calendar, and I would second what Tom's asking for if there's a need for it.
okay, so we have a motion and a second to move item E to the 3E to the general, off of the consent calendar, the general agenda. Is everybody in favor? Say aye.
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 Okay, that motion carries. So we're going to be acting on items 3A through D, and then Ezra will be voting on B, C, and D, but not voting on A.
So I'll make a motion to approve the other remaining items on the consent calendar.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Wilson to approve the consent calendar items 3A through D. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
A second by Commissioner Clark. And no discussion on the consent calendar. All those in favor of items A, B, C, and D on the consent calendar say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? None. And it's recognized in the minutes that Ezra, because he was not at the last meeting, did not vote on 3A. Okay, so then we'll go to E, which is the acceptance of the separated out item, the acceptance of the draft 22 capital improvement plan. Tom?
Thank you. You anticipated my hand raising. I went through all that for nothing. So if Michael would show the draft, if that's possible.
Yes, we have.
If he
We-
could pull
it
it
is-
up.
It is
Then,
possible.
once it is possible, is it probable?
It is. Todd, do you have that language ready to roll up? Let me see here.
I can also share it if you don't have it handy.
There it
Thank you.
is. Thank
Should be
you.
sharing it. Is
That,
that
this is
visible?
what I propose to, well, I don't know how you want to do this, but this is what I propose to change that language for two, just to make it a little, so it'd be two, the commission directs staff to continue analyzing how best to, and then those three things. And those three things are actually in the resolution now, but I had this laid them out a little more clearer, and also a little more concise. And like I said, just because I felt I had to wordsmith like something that hour. So I don't know if it's appropriate, but I would move approval of the resolution as proposed for that item with this revision.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Wilson to approve the resolution for 2022 capital improvements plan with the revision of item that part 2 of the now therefore clause being divided into the 3 items as shown currently on the screen. Do we have a second to the motion?
This is Commissioner Bookland. I'll second.
Okay, so we have a second by Commissioner Bookland. And do we have any discussion? I don't see any hands up. Okay, so anybody have any comments? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of the motion approving the resolution for the draft 2022 capital improvements plan as amended, as with the amendment that's shown, please say aye.
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 And any opposed? Okay, none, motion carries.
Thank you, everybody, for indulging me.
And that takes us to topics, which there is nothing under topics, so it's after having some long meetings, or then we'll take us to the Chief Engineer and Director's report. Michael?
Thank you, President Hubble. Hey, Commissioners, I'm very sorry. We could have ended this meeting. It's probably been the shortest meeting in a couple of years, but I'm going to just report on briefly on 6 things, and hopefully they'll just take a few minutes. This week, I signed the district's telework administrative guideline, and this guideline is a true milestone for the district and will usher our organization into the post-COVID work experience. The district is offering remote work opportunities to meet of course, the district's business needs, which include increasing productivity, recruiting, attracting and retaining skilled workforce, and allowing flexibility for completing the work. As our recent experience shows, employees are very productive working remotely, and the workplace of the future will require flexible work arrangements. I want to thank our HR manager, Mike Lipsky, who was the architect behind it, gaining the input of the executive team and the Employee Leadership Council. Overall, our policy, and may be somewhat different than others that are starting to roll out by other organizations, the underpinnings are really around trust and trusting in our employees to do their jobs well, while allowing as much flexibility as possible. And the second underpinning is really recognizing that we are moving into a time more of work-life integration, more so than the terms you've heard before of work-life balance. And so the more we can provide that integration, it creates a whole life, and employees are happier at work and are happier at home. The policy, although very impactful, is deceivingly short. There are very few rules and regulations in it, and it's more of a philosophy and guidelines. And it will, why it's important that we develop this guideline is, you know, as we recruit, we're starting to receive those questions. Well, what's your policy on remote work? And so we needed to put something down in writing. It's been great to see, you know, when over the last year and a half or even longer now, when we moved to remote work, we didn't need a policy or a guideline to make it work. We just made it work because we could trust employees, and I have confidence in employees to get their job done, and know what it takes to get the job done. So I'm really very excited that we have that. And probably a little note, I've been a bit of a curmudgeon on remote work before COVID, and I had mixed feelings about it. But the last year and a half has really demonstrated to me that we can be an extremely effective operation when we accommodate employees for remote work. So that's a big accomplishment for us. While we have a new telework policy, number 2, we are still being very cautious about returning to normal office operations. We are still encouraging virtual meetings instead of in-person meetings, and we are limiting visitors to the plant to just essential meetings. And the reason why we're being cautious and still allowing people to gradually come back is because our vaccination rate at the district is very high. It's over 80%, and among our employees. So we are still allowing employees to return to work gradually. And we are still encouraging all staff to get the COVID vaccine and to wear masks. Our policy, number 3, our policy governance work continues with the second, or I should say, yeah, it's the third of 3 workshops with the commission subcommittee on how to assess monitoring reports. And really what that is how can the commission effectively monitor the performance of staff, and what type of reports and what type of format should be used for me to be effective in reporting to you as a commission that we're getting work done and meeting your policy expectations. And that last workshop is going to be occurring on Monday, August 16th, between 12:45 p.m. and 1:45 p.m. Number 4, we have put the invitation out to our owner communities and for me to join them to talk about the district's financial situation and pending budget. And I'm very pleased that we've received some enthusiastic interest by 6 of our communities so far: Verona, Monona, City of Madison, Wanakee, Cottage Grove, Fitchburg. So I have meetings locked in with their city councils and various staff members that will be starting later this month and moving into September. So I'm very excited about joining those city councils and town boards for those meetings. Number 5, Forbes McIntosh, who helps facilitate the Dane County Cities and Villages Association and sponsors the executive council of the sewerage district, which is comprised of the chief elected officials of MMSD user cities and villages outside Madison. Well, that's a mouthful, isn't it? under the new, maybe I should back up, under our new governance, executive councils could be set up by our member communities, our owner communities, to do things such as appoint and elect commissioners and to receive reports from the district on an annual basis, or more so. President Hubble has joined me, has joined these executive council meetings with me over several years to present to the mayors and city administrators our budget, and be part of the process for appointing new commissioners. We do have one commissioner seat that will be open for reappointment or new appointment. In that meeting, which normally happens in the evening, in conjunction with the Dane County Association membership meeting, is being moved this year to Wednesday, September 22nd, between 12 and 1 p.m. So it's a noon meeting. We'll have our special meeting, and this will be a good time because Forbes does an excellent job really timing this meeting soon after I present the proposed budget, but before the commission public hearing. So it's right in between. It's that week in between both of those. So it'll be a good time for me to present the formal budget proposal to the cities and villages. And then finally, number 6, the executive team is going to be hosting a cookout in celebration of Bruce Borelli's retirement, and that will be on August 3rd between 11:30 and 12:30. And I would like to personally invite commissioners to join us at the maintenance facility for that event. The executive team won't be fancy. We'll be cooking out hamburgers and sausages, and it'll be a very low-key event without any major speeches or anything, but it'll be a good time to, if you'd like to offer your well wishes to Bruce, to do so at that meeting for his well-earned retirement. So with
Michael,
that,
forgive me, do you mind repeating the date?
yes,
more time?
it's August 3rd, 11:30 to 12:30 at the
August
maintenance.
3rd is passed.
Oh,
September 3rd?
September 3rd. Yeah, thank you for making me repeat it. September 3rd. How about that?
Okay.
And times again?
11:30 to 12:30.
Michael, this is Janelle. Small correction there, everybody. It is Thursday, September 2nd, 11:30 to 12:30.
How did I get that so wrong? Thank you, Janelle.
No problem.
Okay.
If people showed up a day late for burgers and brats, people would be very unhappy and miss this event. So thank you for offering that.
And one more time, where, Michael?
At the maintenance facility, which is at Nine Springs. That's where we normally have the commission meetings. And it'll be an open air event in the garage.
Well, congratulations, Bruce, on your upcoming retirement. Sorry, I'm going to be out of town that week, so I'll miss your little get together. But I want to give you that congratulations since I see that you're on. Ken
Thanks,
and
Bruce.
Ezra both are
Very
waving.
much. Hopefully you can see everybody or whoever can make it on the 2nd. But yeah, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, congratulations, Bruce. Job well done.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure working with you, Bruce. It's you did a good job. Okay, that will take us to the regulatory and legal review. I don't see Paul on, so.
Yep.
Okay.
Good morning,
There he is.
everybody. I just want to highlight a couple of things that are going on the regulatory side. There is a DNR committee that's been involved in the so-called bio criteria with respect to phosphorus and site-specific limits. The rule process had been slogging its way through for some time, went to approval by the board. There were some objections from industry groups. It's now back to the department, and they're working their way through comments on that. Probably have a revised rule this fall. I raise this because it's possible that this could have some impact for us with respect to Badger Mill Creek. So we will continue to monitor that closely. Depending upon the option we ultimately choose, it may not have much bearing, but it could. So we'll look at that closely. In the ongoing world of PFAS regulation, I think I noted at our last meeting that the department issued its economic impact analysis for the surface water PFAS rule. Comments on that are due August 18th. And I'm working with Marty and others looking at those. And there are, I think in general, it's an approach that is very consistent with where the district has been in terms of looking at pollution minimization efforts. But there are a few things that probably warrant some additional comments. So that's coming. There's still a long way to go before that actually gets its way through the rest of the rule process. We're still kind of at the beginning, but at least the direction it's heading is an improvement over where it started. And then the final item I would note is just that the anti-degradation rules, which have been kind of pending for years and years, have finally moved their way from a scope statement to a rulemaking process. This has potentially significant impacts across the state, but frankly, probably more limited impacts for the district. But we will continue to follow that as well. So that's all I have this morning, unless there's any questions.
Okay, any questions for Paul? I don't see any hands up. Okay, well, thank you, Paul.
You bet.
And that takes us to 5C, future meeting schedule.
Hey, Tom.
Yes, Mary.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to say something about my term on the commission before we wind up. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that okay now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks. So Michael mentioned about the Dane County Cities and Villages bringing up the position on the commission, and my 3-year term is up at the end of September. Since I'm no longer living in the city of Middleton or any of the jurisdiction covered by Dane County Cities and Villages, and mostly because we're actively looking to relocate kind of outside of the Dane County area in the near future, I didn't feel like I should commit to another 3-year term. So my term is up on the commission as at the last meeting in September 30th. And at the meeting in September, the Cities and Villages Association will be electing a new commissioner. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. And I really want to say that it has been an honor and a privilege to serve on the commission, and a pleasure working with and getting to know all of you. I still plan to attend the meetings through the end of September, so I'll have more time to interact, but I wanted to let everybody know at this point. So thanks.
Well, thank you for that, Mary. It's been a pleasure working with you as well in the past few years. I don't remember when you were appointed. Was it what year?
2009. No, wait, 3 years ago. So
3 years ago?
18.
Okay. I was assuming it was like 4 or so. Okay. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure working with you, and you've done a very good job. Okay. Then future agenda topics, any other business?
Move we
And we
adjourn.
see Commissioner Wilson, you want to make a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
And do we have a
Second.
second?
Second.
Second by, well, I think Commissioner Clark. So we have a motion by Commissioner Wilson, second by Commissioner Clark to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right.
And those opposed? None. Motion carries. Well, thank you all for your input today and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank
Good rest of
you.
the summer, everyone. Take
Take care,
care.
everyone.
Bye-bye.